Hi, this is Frid from the Joy of Syntax and English in Color with another German pronunciation video. I made a series of videos in which I introduced you to the soundscape of German. I introduced you to the sounds of Standard High German with the help of my sound alphabet, das deutsche Klang-Alphabet. And I also made two videos about one of the tricky sounds of German, which is the German R. It's tricky because depending on where it occurs in a word or context, it's sometimes not pronounced and sometimes it's pronounced in different ways. Well, let's say that the letter R triggers different events. It's very complex, and I encourage you to watch those two videos. And the letter R is also tricky because, well, as you might know or hopefully know, there are many, many different kinds of German dialects and accents. And I speak a kind of High German, and that's the only kind of German that I can teach. And why do I teach that? Well, I teach it because with that kind of German, you can be understood by everybody. I think so anyway. I've never encountered a German-speaking person who couldn't understand me. As I've said before, I have encountered many German individuals or German-speaking individuals whom I couldn't understand because they spoke deep Bavarian or something like that. But they could understand me because I speak a standard language. And there are problems with standard, and I have talked about this before, and I will talk about it again, more than once, I'm sure, but not now. Okay, now I want to introduce you to pronunciation practice, and I have decided to do that with the help of children's songs and rhymes. Why children's songs? Most of you coming to Germany are adults. Well, why children's songs? Well, I'm sure you know that all cultures teach their young the essence of their mother tongue with the help of rhymes and songs and little stories. And so the intrinsic and essential patterns and patterns, rhythms, and words that a language has is imparted to the young with the help of these rhymes. And then, you know, it's also in the general consciousness. So people allude to those songs, and somehow I think it's a great tool to teach others. I mean, it's a great tool for teaching learners, and also it's important to know what German speakers grew up with. So I took remember the sound alphabet is constructed in such a way that I took a word, preferably an animal image, and so I showed you the beautiful image, and then I gave you the word that acted as a language gem for the sound that you were supposed to associate with that image. And the idea is twofold, at least. I wanted to give you a way to practice the sounds, and I wanted to have the sound map that I could refer you to. When things go wrong in your pronunciation, then I can refer you to the sound alphabet and help you get the words right. And you will see how that works as we progress. Okay, so I have constructed a little booklet with words and rhymes and songs going with each of the pronunciation words. Okay, I'll share my screen and then you'll see what I mean. And now this seems to be childish, but just bear with me and try whether this works for you. And if it doesn't, well, there's so many different videos on German pronunciation out there, but just give it a go. Okay, you might remember that the sound P, this voiceless, well, I'll give you the pompous expression, the voiceless bilabial plosive. That means a sound that's produced without the humming of the vocal cords and with the help of the two lips, and it's produced by stopping the airflow and then releasing it. P, p. We have it in English too. It's easy. And in my English sound alphabet, the penguin also represents this sound. So this is a sound that English and German have. So people coming from the English world don't have a problem with that. But we still need to know it. And I'll tell you in a minute why. Because when you see the letter P, that doesn't necessarily mean... well, let's say when you want to produce the sound P, you don't necessarily need the letter P, and you'll see why. I'll show you in a minute. Anyway, P, wie Pinguin. Paul der Pinguin. P, wie Pinguin. Paul der Pinguin. Der Pinguin, die Pinguine. Der Pinguin, die Pinguine. Dies ist Paul, der Pinguin. Guten Tag, Paul. Wie geht es dir? Okay, here are some more example words with the sound P. Die Pappe, der Papa, der Popo, die Mappe. And now, stand by to be amazed. The letter B in final position becomes a voiceless sound. It becomes a P sound in final position, because in German we have final obstruent devoicing. In German, the term is Auslautverhärtung. So when I say I love you, ich hab dich lieb, ich hab dich lieb, ich hab dich lieb, it becomes a P. And sometimes that P is swallowed, but it's definitely a voiceless event. Ich hab dich lieb oder ich hab dich lieb. I actually blend them. Hab. Ich hab dich lieb. Now, when I say ich habe, the letter B represents a voiced sound again. Ich habe dich lieb. But the B in lieb becomes a P. So remember, spelling and pronunciation are two different things in German as well as in English. Germans often operate under the mistaken impression that German spelling is phonetic, and it definitely isn't. And this example here, the sentence here, is a case in point. Ich hab dich lieb. Ich hab dich lieb. Ich hab dich lieb. Okay, now comes the little children's song. And there will be a link in the description box that leads to a YouTube video that I have nothing to do with, where somebody will sing the song for you. And by the way, when we practice with the help of songs, the melody and the act of singing itself help us to link the words together. You know, when we learn a new language and listen to the new language, we often cannot distinguish individual words. We don't know where one word ends and the next begins. We just hear. But when we speak the new language, we often bring out these words haltingly and without flow. And it's so nice to create flow, and singing a song or saying a rhyme helps you to create flow. Okay, I'll read this for you now and you see the translation. And then we'll see. 5 kleine Pinguine tanzen auf einer Scholle. Na, this one is the contraction of einer. 5 kleine Pinguine tanzen auf einer Scholle. 5 kleine Pinguine tanzen auf einer Scholle. Hüpfen auf und nieder, wackeln hin und her, und einer kommt ins Rutschen und fällt ins Meer. Notice that there were a whole bunch of R's that I do not pronounce, letter R's. 5 kleine Pinguine tanzen auf einer Scholle. Now again, there are Germans who pronounce these, but I'm not one of them. My German doesn't pronounce post-vocalic R. 5 kleine Pinguine tanzen auf einer Scholle. 5 kleine Pinguine tanzen auf einer Scholle, hüpfen auf und nieder, wackeln hin und her, und einer kommt ins Rutschen und fällt ins Meer. And then you can practice reducing the number of penguins until you're down to 0, and then they're all in the ocean, see? But this video, or this series of videos, is not about translation, or it's not about meaning, it's about pronunciation. Pronunciation is the gateway to a language, and it's its essence. It's really important, and it's sorely neglected in the classrooms, and that's why I'm making these videos, because You know, it doesn't matter whether you have perfect pronunciation, but it helps you to understand people better, and it helps you to create flow. You can have an accent later, but you need to be understandable, and German needs to feel comfortable in your body. So we'll practice the perfect thing, and then whatever comes out will be charming and fine, as long as people understand you and you're happy with it. Okay, now should I sing this for you or not? I don't think so. Maybe I'll give it a try. 5 kleine Pinguine tanzen auf ner Scholle. 5 kleine Pinguine tanzen auf ner Scholle. Hüpfen auf und nieder, wackeln hin und her. Und einer kommt ins Rutschen und fällt ins Meer. Okay, happy saying and happy singing and happy listening and happy practicing. Remember, the title of this series is Practice Makes Perfect. Okay, I hope this helped you. If it didn't, well, then find another video. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Just pop them into the comments below. And I will see you in the next video where we will practice the B. Okay, see you. Okay, I'll stop this now. See you soon. Bye-bye.